Okay. What I'm going to show you today is when I go around and I present to attorneys, this is what I show them. I have a whole big presentation where I explain what you are, what the judiciary is. You all know all that, so I don't have to go through all that. Because there's a lot of questions. Well, you mean a circuit clerk knows that? You know, so basically, so I get to the point where this is the WB e-file site. Right now we're calling it West Virginia Efiling. I think for all intents and purposes that will always be the name. There's some people who want to call it something cooler, but Steve Canterbury. But this is pretty much the way it will always look. Cosmetically it might look a little different, but this is going to be it. And what you're about to see is the test site. This mirrors the live site that is operating in Marion County right now. It may be a little bit slower. Like if you see it hesitating, that's not the e-file site, that's the test site, and plus we're on wireless, that sort of thing. Always, you know, with attorneys, you got to cover your bets, you know, because they're going to question everything. No offense.
We have several from that.
Yeah. Oh, there's attorneys in there? You all are wonderful. Okay, so an attorney logs in. This is the first thing they see. This is their dashboard. Okay? This will be all their cases they have previously e-filed. They can check the status of them, click on them, look at the documents, look at the case file, that sort of thing. Up here you'll see what else they can do. Account, that's where they can add their credit card information, change email addresses, that sort of thing. History, that's just a basically history of transactions. It's an audit record that shows that you submitted this case or you submitted this motion at this time at this hour. Emails, that's where you can add the multiple emails I told you. Miscellaneous, I'm not even sure what that is now. Oh, notice of appearance, notice of discovery, proposed order, that sort of thing. I'm not sure if all those are working on the test site already.
I haven't tried them on the new.
Yeah. Again, this is the test site. The main thing we like to show with this is how to file a simple complaint. So that's what you are going to do this morning. So all you do is go to where it says complaints, new complaint. And I told some people this, you know, once we had the definite test sites last week, I sent it to all the attorneys in the AO and said, no instructions. I said, here it is. But before I did that, my lovely wife, who hadn't seen much about this, I sent her pretty much the link, username, password, and I said, here you go. It took her 4 minutes to file a case. So, first thing you do is select your county. All right, now there's only one choice. You'll see the 24 before it, that's the county number in alphabetical order. That's a numeric associated with the alphabetical order. So I think it's Barbara 1. Next, you select case type. Right now, we're only accepting civil. And as you see, the system will refresh based on your selections. So it will not let you select civil and then a criminal complaint, that sort of thing. We try to make it as error-proof as possible. But I'm sure there will be people, attorneys, who mistakes are made. So let's just do a contract. Origin. Initial filing, appeal from municipal court, appeal from magistrate court. So let's do initial. And then these three buttons, substantial hardship, that's your fee waiver. And as I explained to attorneys, don't just go click that box every time. Because if you click that box, it won't charge you a filing fee. But then and we're going to put in the rules, probably within 24 hours, whoever clicked that box needs to present to your office the information that's required to prove that they are eligible for a fee waiver. So I tell attorneys, don't just click that box and get away with the fee, you know, because you're going to have to prove. And the system will accept that it will not process the actual file if you select that button until you prove that you're eligible. Mediation, jury trial. So then you go through the process. First thing, add plaintiff. Party type, let's just do individual. Let's do... Whoa.
Like candy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just glad you're in here now. Why don't you come up here? There's seats right up here. I don't know. There should be over there somewhere. She's on it. Okay. These boxes are not all mandatory. Some of them are, and they will tell you if they are. You'll get a little red exclamation point. See, like that. Did I put it in the wrong box? Social Security number, we're leaving that on there for now. It won't be required, but there are some situations where it will be needed. And like I said, we're still working on the system, whether or not we just want to take it out completely or have it pop up when we need it. Phone number, same way, not required. It's just an optional.
Right, voila.
There you go. Okay. Gender, male and female, that's for statistic purposes. Again, it's not a mandatory field. It's just one of those things. Special accommodations request, that's ADA. So when an attorney is representing someone who may need a sign language interpreter or a foreign language interpreter or some other type of assistance, you click that box and then there'll be a notes box where you say, here's what's needed. So you've added the plaintiff. Now you just go down here.
Matt, this is a test site, right? I mean, I'm not appearing up in Marion County now, I'm from Georgia.
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Press OK to get to the next screen.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've got your credit card on file and stuff.
Okay.
This is, yes.
There's a question.
Yes.
After you filled in the plaintiff, did you press OK to get to the next screen?
I hit next.
Next.
I hit OK on this screen right here, you see? Down at the bottom, and then hit next.
Okay.
This is where you add the defendant. This is the service type. This, until we're in the complete robotic future where everything is handled electronically, which is many, many moons from now, initial service will always be handled the same way it's always handled now. So this is where attorney would select. Let's just do circuit clerk, certified mail. Folks, who you want to sue? Anybody in particular?
Walmart.
Let's do an individual.
Sam Walton.
Okay. I don't know what city he's from.
Bentonville, Arkansas.
There we go.
So,
I don't know how to spell it, but I'm going to make it up.
How would you know that?
It's on there already.
Good catch.
Screw this up, the clerk's not responsible. If you screw this up, the clerks aren't responsible.
That's right. Bugs is though. Same boxes apply. And you know, the attorney who's filing suit may not know about that, and that's where the defense attorney would go in and add special accommodations and that sort of thing. So we have a plaintiff and defendant. So now, self-explanatory, and you can go back, you can add multiple plaintiffs. You can have multiple defendants. See these buttons right here, add, edit. You can add, edit some of the information or delete because you're not final yet. Nothing is submitted. You hit next. This is where you add your civil complaint. So hopefully an attorney has already done this up and it's saved on their computer. That's good. It's just like attaching it to an email. You find it. You put what it is, complaint. And you hit upload. And then you wait. You should see this. I was somewhere, I think it was up when, where's Kim Hartman? We were up in Moorfield, and Wi-Fi up there is slow. And it took a while for this, so I had to do banter in between. So I've added the complaint. So again, I hit next. There you see the payment amount. That's the filing fee of $155 plus the certified mail fee. And then the convenience fee is $716. That convenience fee is the credit card charge. Right now it's, I think, 4%. That's not final. We're still working on that. What I explain to attorneys is we can't help that. If you use a credit card, and Laura, I think, has been taking credit card for years, they charge a convenience fee. If you use, Walmart has convenience fees, but Walmart eats the cost because they can. We can't.
That's why I'm suing them over.
That's right. So I tell attorneys, I'm like, if you're going to use a credit card, we can't help it. The credit cards, that's how credit card companies get their money. One of the ways. So, you'll see, there you go, total charges, $186.16. So you hit file and pay. Then Matt dances some. And like I said, the live site's not this low, and this is on Wi-Fi, so. So again, we have the payment summary. Now, if this is your first time doing this is where you would enter your credit card information just like your online shopping. But let's say that you're familiar with this site as me on Amazon.com and you already have a credit card on file. Don't worry, Bugs, that's your card. It just says test card. Where's Judy at from Software Systems? I panicked one time because it said Judy's card, and I used it, and I was like, I really hope she didn't put her real card in there. You hit the button that says make payment. Your filing has been successfully completed. Click here to print the receipt. And then if you go back to, you hit OK. Attorneys will also get an email with the receipt. And if you look right here it is on their dashboard.
Matt, that said a 0.0, I may have read it wrong, a 0.05% tokenization fee will be charged for each transaction. What does that mean, do you know?
I didn't see that.
Go back to,
Yes, it was in
yeah, it was there, I guarantee you. And I may have read it a little bit wrong.
First time I've ever seen
I'm not
it.
sure what
I've
tokenization
seen it.
means.
Is it part of the convenience fee?
part of the convenience.
Yeah, it's just part of the convenience fee.
What was it,
But
0.05%?
it's part of the 4%.
Okay, it's part of that.
It's just if you break down, you can break down that fee if
Okay.
people want to see exactly what it is.
Yeah, who gets each piece of it
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
break
That was
down,
just
it's
one of-
like that in money.
Way to make it complicated.
It's
See,
not
this-
money you will ever see, Bugs. It
Yeah.
goes directly to them.
Okay.
So that's it.
When do they scan in their complaint?
Well, they can scan in their complaint, and I always have this question from attorneys.
Tomorrow.
You can scan in your complaint just if you have a scanner. You know, just a normal scanner you buy from Walmart. Or you can create the complaint electronically and just save it. Do it in Adobe. We'll also accept, currently we'll accept Word and WordPerfect. We don't prefer those, but we will accept Word and WordPerfect.
How does it get to the clerk's office? I mean, do they email it to us or?
Once you saw that where they got the receipt,
Yeah.
it's already hit the clerk's system once because see that case number?
Yes.
That's how it gets the case number. It hits, when someone logs in and they pick Marion County, the system already knows, okay, we need to hit Marion County. So when that attorney files it, it gets that case number from the Marion County system, from the case management. And then once the attorney files it, it sends a notice to the clerk. You'll have a queue, which we'll show you tomorrow. I don't want to overwhelm. Tomorrow we're going to have computers set up and you can sit down and look at the clerk's queue and that sort of thing. But you'll kind of have a queue like this. It'll show up and it'll show everything that was filed, and then you will process the claim just like you always would.
But at some point, did the attorney have to scan that complaint in to get it into the system?
Yes.
That's right.
They could have saved it as a PDF from a Word document.
It's the same way, it's the case number. it's randomization through the system.
When you do a Word
And it hits
document and
the
you
system,
type, you can save as a
we're still working out
PDF.
those
So if they
details,
typed it
but
up, they don't have to
basically the same
necessarily
way.
scan, but you can scan.
Okay, question? Yes.
Why is the fee 179
Yeah.
per filing?
Where you see that at?
Well, it's on the back.
Oh, the service charge was included.
The service charge was included.
No,
Oh.
it wasn't the right fee. But it's 155 and 20 for certified mail, that should have been 175, you had 179.
With the convenience fee.
Convenience fee.
No?
It's the per page map. It's that per page.
Oh, yeah, that's the per page thing. That's, I was explaining to some clerks yesterday. You know, now an attorney can bring in the copies and you all do the service. Or this system, they will have the option of they'll e-file it, then they'll bring you the copies. Or they can go ahead and we're going to have an option for them to select, but it automatically charges them $1 per page. And I think,
So
so that's what that was.
Print it out.
So you all have to print it out, you know, that way you're still getting your copy money.
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
okay, say that we're just gonna all start Monday on e-filing.
Okay.
What do we do for suits for the week before?
Those will still be processed the same way,
By the old way?
the old way. Yeah, let's say we're starting Monday with e-filing. That would only be new cases that are e-filed from the start.
You don't go pick up old ones?
No,
Good.
we're not going to ask you. Yeah, we're going to ask you to go back from 19. Yes, that's it.
No, I just meant the ones that's open, not the closed.
No, and what we told attorneys in Marion County was, okay, you're trained, you're registered, it's new suits, don't be going back and trying to recapture stuff that you filed 2 days ago. You know, that's not what we're trying to do right now. So it will be anything new that they started that day. Yes, Betsy?
Old stuff will be in the vault.
Anytime they mark the fee waiver,
Yes,
In the vault, right?
and said that they have to come in and bring the waiver so we can approve it.
yes.
Is that case just kind of hang somewhere until we approve it? It doesn't get a number yet.
It gets a, Barb, she's asking about the fee waiver where it's kind of hanging there. It's not getting a case number, it's just kind of, it's filed for the purposes, let's say their statute, you know, expired. Basically, it's filed for that purposes, but it's just kind of floating there in cyberspace, you might say, until they approve, until you.
It's hot, it goes into the clerk's.
It goes into the clerk's queue, and that's where it stays. It don't go anywhere else
Until we accept
until you
it,
accept
and
it.
then it'll get the number.
And it will be assigned the number, but the date will still be when they filed it originally.
Yeah.
And then if they don't approve, they get denied where it's going.
Yeah, it just goes away. It's dismissed or whatever.
So then there's a possibility we have cases that maybe were filed, came in on May 20th, and it'll show filed May 20th, even though we don't accept it till the 22nd. So you may have numbers out of whack by date. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're working on, and we're looking at other states, how they do that, because every state has that, has a fee waiver system, and we're trying to determine a good way to do that. But that's the idea of how it's going to work. Yes, there could be potentially problems, and that's why, you know, we're going to, if you, basically what I tell, if you're an attorney doing this, there shouldn't be a fee waiver. But there are situations where I've found going around where attorneys, they're private practice attorneys, but they're also work for legal aid. And so, you know, it doesn't happen as often as you would think, because pro se people are still going to be coming in, they're going to be the ones with the fee waiver. But, yeah, you know, basically it's just going to float out there until the clerk approves it, until you see that information that they provide you that proves they're eligible.
If it's an attorney, from now on, why don't you suggest that they actually send that paperwork to us ahead of time?
That may be something we can
You know what
do.
I'm saying? I mean, they wouldn't always do it, but every time they did it, it would be a lot.
Yeah,
Why don't you just make a law, if they can afford an attorney, they can afford the filing fee?
that's what I say, but I don't make the rules.
But a lot of the legal
Still an attorney to eat it.
they
Yeah.
are state.
And we may do something special with legal aid, because that's where it's going to come in the most. Yes. Yeah, I mean, they can view their receipts and everything on here, just like, and you all can too. And you can just print it out or email it to them, you know. Right. Yes. That's a good question. Her question was, local attorney who works across the street, they want to just come in if they, how we're going to do this. There are some people that want to make e-filing mandatory from the start. I don't know if we can do that, because you've got to have buy-in. You want people to voluntarily step into it. But what I tell attorneys is, if you're going to e-file this, we're not going to have another way. You're not going to be able to delay payment. Because what that's going to do is, let's say they e-file it, how many attorneys do you think are going to take that option? I'll pay later. No, again, no offense.
Every one of them.
Every one of them would take that option to pay later. So what I tell them is, like, if you e-file, you pay with a credit card. And if you want, during the pilot phase, when it's non-mandatory, if you don't want to use a credit card, then you need to drive or walk to the circuit clerk's office and file it the same way you always did. But if you e-file it, you must pay with a credit card. Yes.
Okay, right now in certain cases, our judges, secretaries can see our screens and family court can see family cases. Are they going to be able to view these the same as they've always been?
Yeah, that's the case management side. And they will have access. That's what Marion County is doing right now. The family court has the same access they had before. It's just in a different format. And circuit judges will have the same access they do. But they will also have a queue. And here, I'll show you. Here's what the judge's queue looks like. So, judge logs in, pending proposed orders. And family court will be the same way. We just don't have those yet. And we wait. And you'll see these are proposed orders. Judge can view them. And this is what I'm training the judges on today. So, say a little prayer for Matt. About 4 o'clock. And you'll see here's the proposed order. And it's just like a Word document. They can edit it, do whatever they want to do with it. And then standard, that's just your, a motion or a proposed order for something else. Final, that's a final order. They have 2 options, file and reject, or they can edit it. And if they reject it, it goes back to the attorney and says rejected, and the attorney needs to redo the order or whatever.
Put that final button, show them how it gets those 3 options that the judge has to do.
And see if the judge selects final, and this is the judge's module. This is what the judges or judges' secretaries will be doing. They have 3 options, bench, jury, or other.
You won't have to do it. Close it.
And then, like I said, I want to save my orders for the judges, so I'm not going to file or reject them. I'm going to let them float there. But it's that simple.
It's closed.
Motion queue works the same way.
Now, you said they could edit, but I didn't see with the 2 choices, not 3. Did I just miss?
Well, no, the screen over there, they could edit it on the screen. They didn't have to click the edit button. It was just,
Like, just do it.
they just do it, yeah. Here's their pending motions.
Yeah, right now.
Continue, add party, that sort of thing. Again, the judge's module, we'll probably make some changes to that in the following, because we're just now bringing the judges on, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of questions. As when you all see the clerk's queue tomorrow, you're going to have a lot of, So do you think it's easy? Does everyone think their attorneys can do it?
Well, now, that's a different question.
Most of them.
Yeah. And basically how we're going to do this is, when your county is ready to go live with e-filing, weeks in advance, we will find the location. Twin Falls State Park, I don't know, wherever.
Bring them to Twin Falls, anywhere in the southern half of the state.
And we will send out a bar blast to all attorneys in that area and say, bring yourself, bring your staff. You will register, get trained on it, and then you're good to go. It's no longer my responsibility from that point. We will have a help desk that they can call, but as you saw, it's pretty simple. I don't understand how you could figure it out, but again, no offense.
Will this be mandatory, or will they still have the option to file by paper down the road?
It will be, right now, the option for 2 years is still that. But once we have the system finalized and it's, for all intents and purposes, as close to perfect as we can get, it will be mandatory for attorneys to use this method.
So you're saying in 2 years, every county will be doing this?
Okay,
Is
quit
that the
asking for
schedule?
Well, but I mean,
That's the
you're not gonna have some counties that are doing it.
No, it will not be mandatory unless all 55 are
That's what I was asking. not
See, that's a good question. The reason why I say 2 years is because the pilot is supposed to last 2 years. And that's, after 2 years, we will have a full integrated system. We will have the rules, but, you know, there's a lot of logistics, not just system involved, but, you know, there's training, there's equipment to get in all 55, I got to drive to McDowell and find a room somewhere.
Twin Falls.
Twin Falls.
We love McDowell County.
Yeah, Matt's only one person. And I have Kelly and Teresa, but we're 3 people. Yes. The lawyer's asking questions. Okay.
After filing the complaint, will the summonses automatically be issued, or how will that work?
After it's been filed.
E-file, yes.
Let's say you decided to do service by private process server. Yes, the summonses print up, and you'll be able to print them out in your office and serve. They'll come up. The clerk's digital, like timestamp and all that, serves as the signature, but they print up on the screen and you can print them out.
And if I choose to do certified mail through the West Virginia Secretary of State, will that also come to the attorney, and then the attorney forwards that to the Secretary of State, or will that be, okay,
They'll come right up and you print them out.
Great.
Yeah. And we've met with the Secretary of State to try to work out a more streamlined method, the way to do it, everything on here, but the Secretary of State still wants that paper, and then some attorneys, we're afraid, you charge them $1 a page and they see it, and it's like, the filing fee goes from 200 to 700.
Well, and sometimes the attorneys don't necessarily want to serve it at the time to file.
Yeah. So that's logistics that we're going to have to work through. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it will pull up, you can print it out, you'll have the clerk stamp on there, that sort of thing. Yes?
If the summons automatically generates at that point, currently we actually have a stamp or signature stamp so that we know that it's coming from the circuit clerk's office. And so there will be an e-signature.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah. Basically, you'll have an electronic stamp, and it will say whatever county you're from, clerk's name, that sort of thing. And like I said, that's all. We're still designing all that, and we have to have the rules in place that certifies that as the stamp and that sort of thing. But yeah, right now, yes, it will be an electronic stamp.
Are the attorneys going to be able to release the largest and all those other things?
Are the attorneys going to create the subpoenas?
Repeat what that question was.
Repeat it again.
Will you have the attorneys create the subpoenas for the felony cases, so that all the clerk would have to do is date that we stamp them, or are we going to get a witness list and ask them to create their own subpoenas?
Now, prosecutors have the power to issue a subpoena. So, no, you won't have to do that. I plan on doing that. I've got a lot of the criminal side done. But yeah, it's, they'll do it.
And we plan on, although attorneys will have an option, we plan on, once we have the criminal side done, making it mandatory for prosecutors. No, to e-file. to do all their criminal through the system.
Yeah, what about Brent?
Now, what about with our grand jury? Once the grand jury has met and we have an indictment, is the prosecutor therefore doing the paperwork on it, or do we?
That's my plan, that the prosecutor will have to e-file that indictment.
Yes.
They'll have to e-file the indictment. I said, how I'm gonna work out like the logistics of it, whether they, have to stay in the courtroom, scan it from there or whatever. I mean, the rules as they are now, a lot of that stuff, it's gonna change. But yes, they will have to e-file the indictment and any, it's a new case, so they have to e-file it just like an attorney does.
Yes.
For the question on this is
currently the foreman of the grand jury signs off on those. So is the thought that the whole procedure will go through, the signatures are there, and then the prosecutor is going to e-file all of that? As you say, maybe from the courtroom, or I know all those logistics have not quite been worked out, but it just occurred to me that we normally have a signature for person.
Well, they'll have the signatures for the person, and they'll have the signature for person on it. And what I envision is that the prosecutor takes it back to his office, he'll scan it in to his computer, and then he'll go in and file a new criminal case and get those indictments out as attachments and attach it, file it in the case. So that's going to save clerks in their offices a whole lot of.
What about bound over?
Yeah.
Bound over.
Can you integrate the bound again?
Yeah, it will work. Now, I'm thinking like on the case management side as well, what we do now is when you have, the paper world, when you file, the clerk files the indictment, you start the new case, then we just like bring over from the bound over case and attach it to that file. So that'll all be worked out to pull that over and attach it.
And we're working with the UJA that's in the magistrate world to get all that information from, and we've even discussed having the magistrate's e-file the initial criminal. There's various scenarios we can look at, but it's complicated.
Will they be responsible for the indictment list that prints?
They are.
I'm sorry, what?
Will they be responsible, the prosecutor's office, to prepare the indictment list? Will it print the indictments that were indicted and print a list? Because you know how our judges want a copy of that list, and then it prints in the paper. Or currently now we do that.
That would entail some kind of a, report that you'll get from your case management side.
Yeah.
If you know when the grand jury met, from date to 2 days soon.
There's all these little interesting little things that your office does that not everybody else does that we'll have to work through whenever we go into your particular county and deal with them as in, because to try to comprehend the say, oh, there's not an easy button, or they like to call it bar core button.
There should be.
There should be an easy button. Any other questions? Yeah.
Behind you.
Wow. All the way down.
With indictments, if we have like 7 indictments and only 5 in the back of True Bill, how are we going to be able to seal the other 2 in the e-world?
They will already be there. No one else can see them. If they're in the system, They're just there.
So it's whether the bound over
Yes.
are true bills
Yes.
and then there's some stay at the clerk's.
They'll float there or whatever. Yeah. Or the prosecutor will, the prosecutor will still see them. And the judge will be able to see them, like, man, you got them.
That bag is not down there to dismiss that.
Yes. They'll be very visible for everyone to see.
Yeah, our judge on arraignment day gives a copy of the indictment to the defendants. How will this work in the world?
We can print it off, put a printer in the courtroom. Yeah, again, that's stuff that, we'll have to deal with, but technically, print it off. Because you may have judges who don't do that, Okay, everybody calm down.
I can't imagine any defense attorney not challenging the prosecutor walking out with that original indictment.
That's the stuff I just said.
I mean,
Hey, if it doesn't get filed, it wasn't done.
Well, we didn't hear that.
What about direct indictments? When she was asking about a no true bill, when you were talking about the bound over, it's already in there. But we get a lot of direct indictments. We don't have a bound over.
And like I said, that's stuff that, I don't have a definite answer for right now. That's stuff that we're going to try to figure out, try to make it the easiest way possible on the clerk. And try to put, because for too long, it's your own responsibility to handle and deal with stuff like that. Sometimes it is your job to do something, but sometimes it's not. And we'll deal with it, we'll figure that out. But it's going to be my job to go to prosecutors and be like, here's what, There's going to be fun anyway, but yeah. See, I'm the one going to be in front of prosecutors making them upset. Yes.
In answer to Jess's question, if they file direct indictment, the prosecutor will just put it into the computer and it'll just come up with a case.
That's right.
That's what no true bills, they're not a case.
Right.
The e-file summons to show that.
No, I don't think they become a case file. You stick them in a notebook somewhere for
Exactly right. That's right.
stick it in a vault.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, give it to the prosecutor.
For the prosecutors too.
And if there's one with the consequences,
Okay, we got questions.
That's right. For instance, we have lawyers who are not very good at updating software, have lots of viruses in your computers. What's to stop a virus from coming into this and corrupting it?
That's a very good question. It's a web-based system. We're using a vendor. It's their job to make it run. Just like the Supreme Court, it's our job to maintain our website, maintain our email. We have attempted hackers every hour of every day. We have viruses. How many people in the court's email see those emails says, hey, from someone in the court, they didn't send it. That means that someone in the court has opened an email. And if you click on that link, it sends an email to everyone. There's always going to be scenarios. But we do our best to protect it. We have the most up-to-date software. That's what the rules say. The rules say if it's on our end, attorneys are protected. If it's on your end, it's your fault. Well, the only thing attorneys will be submitting that could have, is a document. Yeah, I mean, if it's a PDF, if I had a virus in it, I don't think it could. It's not like you're submitting data or you're submitting a link or you're uploading a PDF. So there's not really what would they be in? Well, we're not there yet. You know, you're getting way ahead of the game. We just want documents right now. See, she's wanting that perfect robotic world where everything is done. Was there any other questions back here? Do you have any other questions? Are y'all done? Ready to e-file?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we will, we're not really having presentations. We will have computers set up where you can sit down and you can e-file a document. You can look at the clerk's module. You can look at the judge's module. That's what we're doing tomorrow, pretty much all day. You can look at the case management software. So hopefully that will help you see. If you sit down and e-file a case, that'd be awesome. Trust me. It's once you do it, then you can tell your attorneys, yeah. So any other questions? If not, I'm going to get on the road.